So yeah, the Fever are cooked. The Fever are absolutely cooked. And Stephanie White's press conference yesterday, other than her talking about her getting fined, which is a crazy thing. Like, other than that, Stephanie White, literally, you could hear from the press conference that she is. No, I'm not going to say out of her depth, because I think that's a bit of a crazy statement to make, considering the fact she was a Marina Mabry injury off making the finals last year. But she wants this team to be the Connecticut Sun. Like, she literally talked in her press conference about the team being too reliant on dribble handoffs and pick and rolls. And then she talks about they want their off-ball actions. And they want some things where I'm like, I'm sorry. It is the year of 2025. You need the pick and roll. Every single good offense, and you can have off-ball movement on the weak side. You can have a lot of off-ball things. You can run floppy screens. You can run pin downs. You can do all of these things. But every offense should either start with a pick and roll or break down into a pick and roll. It's 2025. Like, she was talking about the team being too reliant on DHOs and pick and rolls. And then she was like, the team went into their old habits. I'm sorry, you're the coach. You're the coach. If your offensive system has the players doing dumb shit, that's on you. That's on you. Like, you have a team of players that are very much, and I mean this, very much not good enough to run a motion offense at what they do. You have three at all times. DeWanna Bonner is a gunner. As much as I like DeWanna Bonner, she is a gunner. She wants to score. Kelsey Mitchell is a gunner. Natasha Howard is an offense stops here type player. When she touches the ball, the shot's going up. Aaliyah Boston can pass. Sophie Cunningham can pass a bit. Lexi Hull's a gunner. Lexi Hull shooting Dirk fades now. Why is Lexi Hull shooting Dirk fades now? Christy Sides didn't even have an offense. And people were doing less dumb stuff than this. And everything is about, we want to run this motion offense. We want to do this. We want to run that. Well, you don't have the personnel to run a motion offense. Caitlin Clark is not the right personnel to run a motion offense. And I mean that. She's not the right personnel. Personnel that will succeed in a motion offense. And by the way, there are specific motion offenses that you can run. You can run, which would involve a lot of back cuts, but you don't even run a back cut. Like, let me just, basketball half court. I need to just get the basketball 4-out-1 in motion. So there is a specific motion you could run with Caitlin Clark. And I thought that maybe it would work. So there's a kind of 4-out-1 in motion offense where you're basically, it's set up like this. It sets up like this. Every single team in Europe runs it. You got the 1, you got the 4, you got the wing. So the ball a lot of the time goes through the 4. 1 goes to here. Wing goes to the corner. 5 should be, if 5 is on the opposite side here. Let's just say 5's on the opposite side here. Or let's just say this is the 4. And this is the guard. Pitch, pick and roll. This guy comes up, slide down. Ball comes to the high post, back cut. Allow the bigs make decisions. And then just run constant wing pick and rolls. But the team doesn't believe in the wing pick and roll, it seems. Because if you watched her play in Connecticut, the way Connecticut played literally was, I need to show you guys the, I wish I could show you guys in, I'm just going to bring up Paint. I'm going to bring up Microsoft Paint. I'm going to bring up Microsoft Paint, and I'm going to show you guys in the most scuffed way possible the Connecticut Sun offense. So we have got the 3-point line here, the free throw line here, and the free throw line. So, this was the Connecticut Sun offense. AT dribbles the ball. Actually, sorry. She's probably inside the 3-point line. AT has the ball here. There was DeWanna Bonner, DB. There was Dejanay Carrington, or Marina Mabry, whoever it was, or Ty Harris here. And I'm not joking. This was their main offense. Post player. Screens for DeWanna Bonner. DeWanna Bonner curls. Nothing's on, gets out of there. Other person screens for Dejanay Carrington. Dejanay Carrington curls, gets out of there. That was their offense. That was the offense she ran last year and killed the Fever in the playoffs. That was basically the extent of the offense they ran last year. Is that what she's looking for? Is that what she's looking for? Does she want just some curls and getting layups? Because there's Alyssa we are in a tribute to Rick Pitino. Alyssa Thomas is not walking through that door. Bree Jones is not walking through that door. Dejanay Carrington is not walking through that door. But you know what? You have Caitlin effing Clark on your team. You have the best pick and roll guard in the league, bar none. You have a guard that generates layups, and you don't want the team to generate layups. The Connecticut Sun were such a bad offensive team because they could not generate good shots. They relied on post-ups. They relied on being gritty. They relied on offensive rebounding. They did not generate good shots as a team at all. They didn't generate good shots. They generated a lot of pull-up middies, and that's what we saw yesterday. That's what we've seen the non-Caitlin Clark minutes. This motion offense is a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. And she's talking about the team being over-reliant on the pick and roll. In the year of 2025, every single team's offense should either start with or break down into a wing pick and roll. Or heck, even a high pick and roll if you want to start it. But every single offense should break down into a pick and roll. Because what the pick and roll does is it forces the defense to shift. It forces the defense to make a decision. It allows your players who you want on the ball to make reads and not the players you don't want on the ball making reads. A motion offense does not work if you don't have the right personnel. It works in theory. They can work in theory when you have... And any good teams that run a motion offense adapt their motion offense to their best players. Like if you watch Rashad Mazian playing what he did when he was coaching the Belgian national team. Yeah, they ran a motion offense, but the ball's in Emma Mason's hands 80% of the time. It's in her hands almost all the time. So even though, yeah, there's a specific motion offense they're running, a lot of the time, she very rarely rolled. She would sometimes drift, and Kiara Linskins would make the read to come in. You need smart players to have a motion offense, and no offense to Kelsey Mitchell. She's not a high IQ player. A good player, yes, not a high IQ player. No offense to Natasha Howard, not a high IQ basketball player. No offense to Lexi Hull, not a high IQ offensive basketball player. And that's not a knock on these players. They do what they do. They fit their role. And when you have a team like the Indiana Fever, where these players, it's clear from last season, they follow instruction well, you have to go and have very specific things you do at specific times. You cannot have equal opportunity basketball when that leads to Kelsey Mitchell turning into worse Arike. When that leads to Natasha Howard taking more shots in the first half than in the first quarter than every other player combined. It is equal opportunity basketball only works when you're playing NBA 2K and you can control every single player. Equal opportunity basketball does not work when you have one super high IQ player on the floor in Leah Boston who simply put did not touch the ball because of the offense. It's not going to work. It is not going to work with this team. Maybe it could work with Caitlin and Aaliyah Boston and maybe Lexi Hull. Sophie Cunningham, fine. Sophie Cunningham could play in that type of an offense. But you need an entire new team of personnel. And there were players out there that could play that offense. Monica Cohen-McCanny, Janelle Salone. Players that have played... A lot of these players that have played, and I'm not talking about the Turkish league, where the Turkish league is just the Americans that cook. Players, maybe Fenerbahce is an exception, but players that have played for top teams in Europe, players that have played in the French league, players that have played in the Spanish league, players that have played for European national teams where that's where they have to play. They're the type of players that can play a motion offense and be successful. But no, you sign the GM and the front office signed a bunch of players who are used to the WNBA style of basketball and have a coach who wants them to play the complete opposite, and a coach who watched Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Leah Boston and just said, we good. I'm going to force them to play my style. No, the motion offense is going to be an absolute disaster for this team. And I'm telling you, it is going to be an absolute disaster, lads. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.